Life begins at 40. This is a very popular notion among middle-aged, saying that when you reach that age, life becomes better. Perhaps because at this point, one would be expected to have possessed the necessary skills, experiences, and resources to live a fulfilling and enjoyable life. 20 more years and you could be traveling the world, living on an exotic island with the sun beaming and the beer flowing, or simply enjoying a relaxing life at home. However, to enjoy such a life, you should first know the top 12 most important money goals you should achieve before 40 years old. Welcome to Thrivetastic. If you're new here, why not hit that subscribe button and join our community? And as always guys, give this video a thumbs up for that YouTube algorithm. Number 12. Create and use a budget. Have you ever tried doing a monthly budget plan or at least a vague idea of how much you are spending? If your answer is no, well don't worry, you're not alone. According to one study, only 41% of Americans use a personal budget. If you have never done it before, I think now would be the right time you do it. By doing this early, by the age of 40, you should be able to compute the accurate amount of money you have available each month for rent or mortgage, utilities, bills, food, transportation costs, leisure, and investments. This will be the core of your financial strategy for debt repayment, emergency fund building, and retirement planning. However, you won't be able to do any of these without knowing how much money you have. Choose and put your preferred budgeting plan to the test. Budgets, after all, are flexible. You can make mistakes. They're not all bad if you learn from them. Rebuild the elements and try it again. Determine the source of your overspending. What are your choices for dealing with the issue? Do you need to cut back on your expenditures, change your habits, or start a side business? Being able to answer these questions, you'll realize that having a budget is very crucial if you want to attain your financial goals before reaching 40. Number 11. Open a Roth IRA. A Roth IRA is an individual retirement account to which you contribute after-tax dollars. While there are no current year tax benefits, your contributions and earnings can grow tax-free, and you can withdraw them tax-free and penalty-free too. That's why this is one of my preferred investment vehicles. However, high-income workers should avoid Roth IRAs due to their strict income and contribution limits. But the good news is it requires no minimum distributions or RMDs. Number 10. Have an emergency fund that is fully funded. Whatever the stage of life you have right now, and regardless of your status, having an emergency fund is very crucial in one's life. It becomes the financial safety net that you can utilize to cover unexpected expenses such as illness or substantial home repairs. After all, life can be quite unpredictable, right? At this point, your emergency fund should now be filled with enough funds to last at least 6 months. If it doesn't, aim for it. Your emergency money will come in handy if you lose your job or become severely ill and are unable to work. It's merely a temporary fix to avoid adding emotional stress to your troubles. This goal may be difficult to achieve in your 20s, but in your 30s, you have a little time to waste. In an emergency fund, you should set aside 3 to 6 times your present monthly pay. It's intended to help you deal with unforeseen emergencies like job loss, medical emergency, or the need for quick travel, among other things. This fund is critical for your mental, physical, and financial well-being because it shields you against the unforeseen twists and turns of life. If you haven't started yet, begin with a recurring deposit and increase it every month. Your objective should be to boost your take-home pay to 3 times its current level. Continue to invest in the fund until it has grown to 6 times its original value. If you have 6 months worth of expenses saved up, you will be less burdened and be able to focus on future decisions. Number 9. At least 10% of your income should be set aside for retirement. If you're earning $60,000 annually, 10% of that would be $6,000 per year, or $500 per month. Make it a habit to incorporate it into your budget and follow through on it. If you haven't already done so, work your way up to 10%. Start at a small percentage and increase it every 6 months or so, to ease your way into larger contributions in the future. Number 8. Student loan repayment. Graduates on average owe $37,000 in student loans. Many graduates postpone or choose an income-based repayment plan to make payments more manageable. This just serves to delay what will inevitably occur. Instead, aim to pay off your debts before the age of 40. Using the standard repayment plan, your loan will be paid off in 10 years. Check to determine if this is feasible. If not, go as close to it as possible so that you can repurpose those assets for retirement, property, or simply enjoy life. Number 7. Get life insurance. The older you get, the higher the cost of the insurance will be. So before you reach 40, how about considering getting yourself and your family one? Your financial and familial responsibilities increase at an exponential rate. You work extensively to provide a good standard of living for your family. You must also safeguard them from death and diseases. The majority of people require term life insurance. Consider your greatest expenditure and the people you want to keep safe. Do you wish to pay off your mortgage for your children and grandchildren? Do you plan to pay for your children's college education? What about you and your partner? Do you want to ensure that they have enough money to support you or themselves if you lose your job? A term insurance policy will keep your family financially afloat even when you pass away prematurely. Furthermore, health insurance is intended to help you deal with escalating medical expenditures that make hospitalizations and critical illness treatment more challenging. If you already have these policies, you should check your sum assured regularly to ensure that it still suits your current lifestyle and income needs. Remember, the sooner you obtain life insurance, the lower the premiums will be. Rates are fixed for the term, so if you buy at 30, you'll have it until you're 60. Number 6. Invest in yourself. Investing in yourself is a lifelong undertaking, but one that you should have achieved by the age of 40. You've probably spent the last 10 or 20 years focusing on others or succeeding in life. It is now time to focus exclusively on yourself. Learn something new, read a book, or just relax. Take into account your finances as well as your mind and body. If you're more educated, you will make better decisions. The healthier you are, the lower your medical expenses will be and the longer you will be able to live. Take advantage of this time to learn a new skill or look into ways to make money. You never know what life may throw at you, but having a diverse collection of skills, interests, and goals will help you deal with anything that comes your way. Number 5. Open a college savings plan. The average American parent has saved $18,000 for their child's college education, while children aged 13 to 17 have saved $22,000. Even though tuition fees vary widely from school to school, this amount would not be adequate to pay for a 4-year education without taking out any loans. If you have children, start saving for their education as soon as possible. Open a 529 college savings plan to take advantage of tax benefits. This is where 30% of all college savings in the United States are kept. Only do this if you're close to retirement, but hold on if you're falling behind on your retirement funds. A college savings plan, on the other hand, prepares your child for a financially solid start in adulthood if your retirement plans are funded early and frequently. A 529 plan's money grows tax-free and can be used for vocational schools, books, dorms, and other educational expenditures. Number 4. Retirement planning. In your 20s and 30s, you rarely consider retirement. However, when you approach your 40s, you can no longer delay it. Long-term investing requires a great deal of patience. The longer you wait to make a long-term investment, the more difficult it will be to achieve your goals. Make a good start in your 30s to avoid financial difficulties in your 40s and 50s. To figure out how much money you'll need for retirement in your 60s, calculate the cost of your current lifestyle for inflation. By your 30s, you should have some money invested in long-term investments such as PPF, EPF, NPS, equity mutual funds, and so on, so that it continues to grow swiftly and gives you the financial stability you'll need in retirement. So, what are you waiting for? If you have not yet done any of this, consult a financial advisor and see how much you should save. Number 3. Make educational plans for your children. A higher education degree does not come cheap. As a result, you must be able to accommodate your children's long-term financial needs. Your children will be starting college as you hit your 40s, and you will be approaching retirement. You must find a way to balance these challenging financial goals with necessary borrowings. One of the most effective ways to save for your children's education is through mutual funds SIPs. You can also consider investing in assets with a cost that appreciates over time, such as land. Number 2. Invest in a filing cabinet. Throwing all of your W-2s, payslips, and other financial documentations into your drawer may have worked as a filing method when you were in your 20s. However, your financial situation may have worsened as a result of this. You probably have more bills to pay, insurance policies to manage, a mortgage to pay, and an increasingly complex tax credit system to know. So, organizing these documents neatly in a filing cabinet will save you a lot of trouble when you need them and prevents making a mistake because of wrong documentation. You can also try using money management apps to keep track of all your finances in one location. They are readily available online with a lot of options to choose from. And number 1, prepare a will. Nobody knows how long they will live. Sudden death without a valid will may result in undivided property and riches among their heirs, which may later prove disagreeable. If you've acquired sufficient fixed assets and wealth, it is strongly advised that you draft a legal will with the assistance of a qualified lawyer, describing the division of property and wealth among your heirs. There were a lot of instances where the relationship between heirs became sour because of undivided will and the absence of a will, and it is something that you don't want to happen. These financial goals to achieve before turning 40 are simple to implement, no matter where you are today. If you're unsure, take one step at a time. Working your way down the list, you'll eventually reach the financial goals that every one of us should have reached by the age of 40. Before we end this video, I'd like to ask you guys, whatever stage of life you're currently in, if you have already achieved any of the goals we have listed today, and if it's alright with you, please also share with us your age. You never know, you might just inspire someone today. Thank you for watching this Thrivetastic video. So if you found it valuable, consider subscribing to our channel and joining our awesome community. And if you're still hungry for more, we handpicked this awesome Thrivetastic video for you to watch next.